Yeah. Welcome back. We're talking dating tonight. Trying it out after a toxic relationship can be tricky, but it's not impossible. Dr. Angela Jones joins me here on the Factor Uncensored. So the question is, if you've dealt with someone and had a relationship, significant time with someone who's been very toxic, how do you function with someone who's regular after that? How do you fix yourself?
You know, the thing is, it's like trying to fix yourself doesn't mean to get back to what you used to be. The thing is that relationship taught you a couple of things about yourself, a couple of things to look for, and you have to get to a place where you trust yourself and your picker, right? When we get out of these relationships and we don't really like the way we feel, we don't trust ourselves, we don't trust other people, and we have to find a space to like get all that out and get back to a place of saying, okay, I feel like I can trust myself, I can trust my intuition to pick the right person.
But you don't think like after one time, if you get a bad apple one time, you consider it mentally an anomaly. But if you do it consistently over and over again, something's wrong with your ass.
You know, the thing that's a picture of someone who didn't do the work in between those relationships to figure out what's going on with them. So if you have that one situation that was bad and you try to figure it out, you go to therapy, maybe take some time to yourself, see what it feels like to be on your own, then you may have a better chance of picking someone better next time. It's not a guarantee, but you have a higher rate. But if you're just jumping from relationship to relationship just because you don't want to be lonely, you're going to pick the same person every single time, just a different body.
And so how do you avoid making that same mistake? Many people will pick the same person, and it's some internal things that are going on. So do you have to get counseling for that? Do you have to talk to somebody? Or do you have to just sit in the mirror and say, what am I doing wrong?
I would say
and that's hard to do for some people.
Absolutely. Do all of those things, right? Like, why not do the work of going to counseling, talking to a friend that you can trust, and kind of reflecting on yourself? But in order to make sure you're doing it right, there's a couple of things you have to do. Like I said, you have to trust your picker. A lot of us out here in relationships never trust our picker, which is why you're in a bad relationship now. You saw red flags, you weren't sure if that was a red flag.
What's a picker?
The picker is basically being able to pick a good person.
Okay, got it.
You know, that's slang for like, how can you determine who
I was born in the mid-1900s, Dr.
Look,
Jones.
1900s, I'm in the 1900s too, I get it. You know?
But go ahead.
But yeah, you have to trust yourself and say, okay, my intuition is saying this is a red flag, it doesn't feel right, let me step back. But if you don't trust yourself, you're gonna be like, well, I mean, is it really a red flag? I don't know. And then you ask everyone for their opinions, and then you're unable to discern for yourself if this is a good person or not. So trusting your picker, trusting yourself to like pick the right person is going to be the ultimate thing for you to do. And sometimes you can't do that by yourself. Of course, I'm going to tell you to go to therapy. Of course, I'm going to tell you to self-reflect, but you may need to read some books or simply just take some time to be with yourself. You'll be surprised how many people you talk to and you're like, tell me the last time you were single, and they can't think of it, but you know they've been in like 5 relationships. And it's like, you need some time to be on your own, see what it feels like just to be you.
And how do you make people realize that you don't just have to be in a relationship one after another consistently? Because I think they may be thinking the world is watching, or I'm lonely and I can't be by myself, which means you haven't found any, I would assume, any happiness in yourself.
Right, and usually that comes from something that's happened earlier in your life. Either someone made you feel like the only way you're loved or valued or even important is when you're connected to someone else. So it starts when you're a child. Did your parents show you that you were a valuable person just on your own, not with your friends, not in a relationship? They said you alone are important, are special, and they actually cultivated that in your life. And a lot of us don't, unfortunately, we don't have that type of upbringing. Women are always told to get married. That's your value. Men are told, you know, you need to be with someone if you want to be respected as a man. And then that makes us feel like the only way I'm important is with someone else. And so it starts from like way before now, like as you're a child growing up. So you have to get that out and understand that's where it started.
And to deal with that, you need a lot of help if you're damaged goods.
A good therapist.
I know one. I know one. Dr. Angela Jones.